Welcome, everyone. We are the AIPPI National Group from Portugal. We are here, some of the members of the board, myself, Gonçalo SAMPAIO, as the president, and we also have Maria CRUZ GARCIA, who is the Secretary General of our association, Gonçalo Pavi, a member of the board, and César Bessa Monteiro, our treasurer. The AIPPI National Group in Portugal was founded in 1975, in February 26, 1975. And for the last 46 years, we have been very active in the IP sector and on the IP community in Portugal, being today one of the most active stakeholders in that area. We have a lot of members, but I will leave that to my colleagues to speak, and I will just give you some overview of our activities in the last year. As you might imagine, last year the activities were very much reduced due to the pandemic situation. In Portugal, we first faced a total lockdown from March until roughly beginning of the summer period. And then after the Christmas period, in December, January, we had a second full lockdown. Even so, there are 2 points I think are interesting to mention. One is that although in Portugal, all major activities were suspended or closed for the lockdowns period, that did not happen for the IP sector and for the IP activities. In fact, under a proposal of the Portuguese government, accepted by the Portuguese Patent Office, and duly supported by the national associations such as AIPPI, the IP sector maintained its activities, the deadlines were not suspended, so we were pretty much under the IP activities, business as usual, even during the lockdown periods, which was something that was not common to other activities in Portugal. A second point I would like to mention is that although our activities have been very reduced, we were surprised with the Portuguese government proposal to make some amendments to the law, to the IP law which entered into force in 2019, but the government decided to launch a second wave of amendments to that law in 2020. So AIPPI, together with other stakeholders, took a position. We filed counter proposals and suggestions to amend those amendments that are proposed by the government. And that took some of the work that we have done in 2020. And I would like to appreciate to all the members of the AIPPI National Group that intervene in that process of answering to the government proposal to amend our IP law. One last point, probably the only good thing about this pandemic situation was that IP issues and IP discussions were very much in the center of the even political discussions in Portugal because of the patents, vaccines, the possible waiver of IP rights, and that gave ground to a good intervention of AIPPI National Group in the media, both in the newspapers and the radio talk shows, where we were able to pass AIPPI message of the importance of having good IP systems, good IP professionals, and relevance of IP rights. So we try to use this focus on IP issues to promote the IP system among our companies and Portuguese entrepreneurs. So I think that probably this is the only thing that happened good during the last months because of the pandemic situation. I will now ask our Treasury César to give us some information about our members of the National Group of Portugal. César, please.
Thank you, Gonçalo. In what respects the number of members of our national group, we are now around 65 members, and we saw a reduction on the members from 2018 to 2021 due to the increase of the fees, which was resolved on the Cancun, Mexico Congress on 2018, and because of some firms, some of the big firms that are part of the national group reduce the number of their members in the association. So We are also trying to increase the membership, making an effort before the firms and other IP practitioners, but we don't envisage that this number will increase as much in the next years.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Cesar. Gonçalo, could you speak a little bit about the relevance of the AIPPI resolutions and the study questions, please?
Yes, thank you, Gonçalo. Well, the Portuguese group does not have a standard or guidelines regarding how to prepare or submit the questions. Basically, the rapporteurs are either chosen by the board of the national group, or they voluntarily apply for the task. Then the rapporteurs, we invite the group members by choosing members of different firms. That I believe that's the only guideline that we give to them, is choose different persons from different firms, and then each group will choose how to proceed. There are no guidelines or a standard procedure. This is what I can say about the study questions. Regarding the resolutions, well, the resolutions are sent to all members of the Portuguese group, of course, to the Portuguese Trademark Office, to the Ministry of Justice, and also to the political parties that have a representation in the Parliament. Then, depending on the relevance of the matter, the resolutions can be sent to other relevant stakeholders. Regarding the input of the resolutions, honestly, we don't have any direct input from, or we never noticed any impact on our legal system. However, there are some court decisions or in other cases, the parties that go to court or do litigate in the administrative level do refer to the AIPPI resolutions. But that's the only how I can say input that we have. It's not a direct input, but an indirect input.
Okay, thank you, Gonçalo. Now, last but not least, Maria CRUZ Garcia, our Secretary General of the Association. Can I ask you some intervention about future plans and the last message to possible local people?
Of course, Gonçalo, thank you. It's not a very good time to ask us for future plans, because we are at the end of our mandate. So we were supposed to have had elections last year. That didn't happen because of the pandemic. So we are a bit behind on that. So when the Portuguese situation with the pandemic allows us, we will have a General Assembly, and we'll be having elections. So we don't have any specific future plans for the association right now, because we usually do have all sorts of activities and gatherings scheduled. So at this point, we do not. So we will be. I'm sure the future board of directors of the association will obviously have very will have a full schedule to prepare when they take action. On the other side, I would like to seriously encourage all Portuguese people related with IP, or professionals that have interest or are in some way related to IP, to join the AIPPI Association. If your job is any way related to IP rights, if you're interested in knowing what's going on in the IP world, both internal in Portugal or all around the world, join us. We are in the center of what's going on the activity. There's no better way of learning what's going on than joining us, working together. And it's a lot of fun. We do have fun. We meet a lot of interesting people, and then we get to go to amazing conferences all around the world and make friends. So join us. We look forward to receiving you all.
That was a perfect final message to our future members of AIPPI National Group. Thank you, Maria. One last note from the Portuguese board to to congratulate the AIPPI board for this new channel of communication among members and non-members. And we are sure it's going to be a success. Thank you, and see you soon from Portugal.